Oi, fala aí pessoal, bom dia. Você está escutando o Inglês no Rádio. I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English. Hey, Alexia. Today is a sad day.
I don't want to talk about it.
We're not going to talk about it, but we are recording this episode on Friday. There was a soccer match today, and we're not going to talk about it.
I'm not talking about
Okay,
it.
Alexia's not talking about it. So instead, we're going to talk about my next favorite thing, languages.
Yay.
Yay. So, Alexia, a long time ago, again, just for all our listeners, Sonny is in the house, so he will be making some noise, but I think podcasts are better with dogs.
Yes, everything's better with dogs or cats or pets around.
Yeah, my girlfriend does not have many life mottos, but she does have one. Everything is better with dogs.
Yes.
Yeah. So a long time ago, Alexia, when we just started Inglês no Cru about a year ago, I wrote a blog post that was called Aprender Inglês Saco. Did you read that one?
I did, of course, amor.
Just a question. So we are doing the italki challenge, and I'm starting to learn French, which means I'm just procrastinating a lot. And it really reminded me of this blog post. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because this is something I really believe in, that in the art of language learning, there are really two different parts. There's the idea of learning a new language, and then the idea of using it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So learning a new language in general, even for people that love languages like me, linguistic nerds, it's saco. It's not fun. It just sucks, and I'm procrastinating. I'm doing everything else except taking French classes. Because at first, you don't
You're
even...
taking a lot of Portuguese classes.
Yeah, because, okay, the difference, using a language, you're having conversations, you're talking to people. That's what you're doing. You're immersed in the culture and the language. When you're learning a language, you're really learning the basics of phonetics, grammar, structure, and that shit is boring. Yeah?
Yes, it is. I am very lazy with my French as well. I was really happy with my two first classes because I could remember a lot of things, but at the same time, I'm like, why? Why am I doing this?
Yeah, I just want to speak with French people, but I need to practice. So there is this thing that I think exists with all languages that I like to call the tipping point. Maybe in Portuguese you could translate that to like a virada, talvez.
O ponto de virada.
O ponto de virada. Yeah. So there's a point where everything stops sucking and all of a sudden everything's just really fun, right?
Right.
So for example, nowadays when I speak Portuguese, every interaction with a Brazilian, a Portuguese person, any Portuguese speaker is a lot of fun. And I think it's the same thing for your English nowadays. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is you got to get to that tipping point. You know what I mean?
Yes. And to get to that tipping point, it is hard work.
Exactly. Sonny, sit. So, how do you get to the tipping point? We have some ideas. So with French, what I'm doing and what I recommend most of our students do in any situation with any language is first start with the pronunciation and the basic structure of the language. Okay?
Okay.
So, for example, in French, there are a lot of weird pronunciation things I need to do with my mouth that I have to train, like the French R. When you say it like, I don't know, très bien. Is that right?
Très bien.
Très bien. See? See, it's hard. It sucks. And this part is terrible because you can't even converse. So you need to focus a lot on that in the beginning. And then just most languages, most Romance languages, which means languages that are based from Latin,
Most romantic languages, right? Not romance.
we say Romance.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, Romance languages. That means languages that are derived from Latin.
No, I know that. But I really thought it was romantic.
No. I mean, French is a romantic language, but it's a Romance language.
What's the difference?
Romantic means like, ooh, sexy, sensual. And a Romance language just means it's based from Latin, literally going back to Rome.
Yeah, línguas românticas. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
understand
we
here.
say Romance languages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the beginning, just learn the basics of pronunciation and basic structures and grammar of the language. Not fun, but you got to do it, right?
Right.
Step number 2, I would say, is make scripts
The thing that I most like to do.
that you most like to do.
Yeah.
You like doing this?
Yes. I think that's a better way to understand what you must say, what you want to tell people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's super useful, but it takes some hard work. I've already found one of my language friends, actually a student of mine, who is writing my scripts in French for
Mm-hmm.
me. And then he's going to give me recordings of everything I need to say, like, hey, what's up? My name's Foster. I'm American. I'm an English teacher. I'm learning French because I hope to travel to France at the end of this year. But it's hard. Yeah.
Who said life would be easy?
Nobody said it was easy. Doesn't mean be that hard. Okay, then the next step I would say is start having basic conversations. And these conversations still are kind of horrible, right? You try to talk to your first real French person, your first real American, and they're like, hey, what's up, Paulo? Where are you from? And you're like, I'm from Brazil. And they're like, okay, what else do you want to tell me? And you're like, football. And it's not fun because you can't really express yourself.
And the thing that I think that it would be good is like, don't be ashamed. Just talk.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, but who cares? At least you're trying, you're gonna learn a lot
Yeah.
with that.
This is one of the things where I think you have so many analogies you can make with sports or any physical activity. Imagine if you're doing jujitsu or learning to play soccer. At first, when you're learning drills or how to like dribble the ball or just the rules of the game, that part is not fun because you see all your friends on the field and you're like, I want to play, but I can't because I'm not good enough. So you have to practice, put in those hours, and then eventually you hit the tipping point. And that's when the guys are like, hey, Foster, come on the field. Yeah, you're good enough to play. Come on. Come on.
É, quando você é escolhido em primeiro.
Yeah. I remember very well one of my first times in Rio. And I was with my ex roommate, Pablo. What's up, Pablo? I know you're probably not listening.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he should. But we were at the beach in Rio, and he was with all his friends playing Alcina. And he was like, Foster, come on, come in the group, play Alcina with me.
Mm.
And I was like, Pablo, I'm not very good with my feet, man. He's like, don't worry, it's not competitive, it's just fun. And then they kicked the ball to me like 3 times, and every time, like I think the first time I just caught the ball with my hands, and then it was just a disaster. And then Papa was like, "E aí, cara, eu acho que a minha namorada está meio sozinha. Você pode fazer companhia para ela?" And I was not at the tipping point yet.
Nowadays, could you play Altinha?
Maybe with watching a lot of World Cup, I think my feet are getting a little bit better. But the idea is you want to get past this shitty part of language learning as fast as possible. Hit the tipping point, and once you do, the ball just starts rolling and rolling and rolling, and you start having fun. Then you can really start incorporating all these things you learned, have conversations, make friends, travel, all the things, all the reasons you started to learn a language in the first place, right?
That's right. It's going to be hard, of course, but after that, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Yeah. With all good things in life, it requires a lot of hard work in the beginning and then it gets much better.
Yeah.
Language is the exact same.
Cool.
Cool. So get to the tipping point as fast as you can. Don't say yes to an Alchine invitation if you definitely know you cannot participate. And I think that's it.
Yeah. And just to make it clear, I'm gonna go for France to the next match against Belgium. So, vamos França! Allez le bleu!
Allez, le bleu. I'm going for Croatia.
No, amor. We had to take off Belgium from the World Cup.
Okay.
That's it.
Croatia seems like a cool place to visit. And Game of Thrones.
Okay. We don't like Game of Thrones.
It's not that I don't like it. There are just a lot of episodes. Speaking of episodes, I think it's a good time to end this one. I will see you tomorrow.
Bye.